Good morning. I decided that I'm going to make one video link that's going to cover the entire week's worth of the math that we're going to do. That way you can just check back in whenever you need to, and if you have questions, obviously you can always reach out on Google Classroom, Dojo, email, and I will help you through any math that you need. So this is just going to cover the daily practice pages. This week we assigned pages 1 through 20. Do what you can, do what you'd like to do. It started off really easy with just addition, subtraction, a little bit of area and perimeter, and a couple rounding questions. So my goal is to give you an overview of the strategies to use on those assignments, but not necessarily doing a specific problem, just giving you the strategies to use in order to solve those problems. So I'm starting off with addition and subtraction. You're going to see a lot of word problems within the assignments, and your job is to determine whether it's addition, adding them, or subtraction. So just kind of some keywords to remember. A lot of the times with addition, we use the word altogether, how many in all, and in subtraction, a lot of the times we use the words how many more or how many left. Now, that doesn't mean just look for those words and it automatically means addition or subtraction, but those are just some helpful reminders. So I decided that I think it would be helpful to do a couple addition with regrouping practice problems to refresh your memory, and then I'll do a couple subtraction, some with borrowing and some without. So starting off with addition, so I have 533 plus 479. So we always start in the ones column, as we remember. So we have 3 plus 9 is going to give you 12. That's a 2-digit number. So we need to have our 2 on the bottom, and we carry our 1. We regroup our 1. Then we go to the tens column. We add 3 plus 7, which gives me 10. And we add the 1 that we regrouped, gives me 11. We put our 1 down here, and we regroup our other 1 over the hundreds column. Then we go to the hundreds column, and we have 5 plus 4 is 9, plus 1 would give me 10. Now there's no thousands column to regroup, so we would just write 10, and we know that every third number, 1, 2, 3, we get a comma for an answer of 1012. Okay, sorry, my 2 is a little off. All right, so I know that we've been working with a lot bigger numbers with addition, so I'll do one more addition problem with some bigger numbers. All right, so here we have 3,892 plus 648. Again, go to the ones column. 2 plus 8 is 10. We put our 0. We carry our 1 over the tens column. 1 plus 9 is 10. 10 plus 4 is 14. Put your 4. Carry your 1 over the hundreds column. 8 plus 6 is 14. Plus 1 is 15. We put our 5, and because there is a thousands column, we regroup that 1, and 1 plus 3 is 4 for an answer of 4,540. Okay, so that's just a little review on addition with regrouping. Now I'm going to move on to a couple subtraction problems. Let's start off with one that doesn't require borrowing. Okay, so I have 894 minus 573. Again, just with addition, we start with the ones column. 4 minus 3 is 1. 9 minus 7, 2. 8 minus 5 is 3. Now with the borrowing, okay, we need to make sure that if the number on the top is smaller than the number on the bottom, we borrow from the next column over. So starting with this subtraction problem, we go to the ones place and we ask ourselves, can I do 1 minus 0? Can I have 1 of something and give away nothing? Of course, 1 minus 0 would just give us 1. So no borrowing is involved in that first step. We go to the second step. We go to our tens place and we ask ourselves, can I do 5 and give away 7? Can I have 5 apples and give you 7? And that answer is no. So we have to go over to the 8, the next column, the hundreds column, and we borrow from it. we make that 8, 1 less, and that 8 would become a 7. Now, here's the step that you need to remember. When you borrow from the 8 and it becomes a 7, you need to add 10 on to the number you're borrowing for. So that 5 plus 10 is going to become a 15. Now that that number is a 15, I can subtract 15 minus 7 to give me 8. 7 minus 4, 3, and 3 minus 1, 2. A great way to check your subtraction is to add the number that you got, the difference, and the smaller number, and when you add those two together, you should get an answer of 3,851. You should get your big number as your answer. If you didn't, then you need to retrace your steps and check again. KhanAcademy.org, if you haven't already been using it, has great little video clips to remind you about addition and subtraction, so that might be a helpful tool for anybody that needs that refresher. So moving on to page 6 of your workbook, just want to put this out there. Look for keywords when you're solving those addition and subtraction problems. Look for the keywords on what you're doing with addition or subtraction. Your parents should have an answer key. If they don't, I can resubmit it to them, but there should be an answer key for you to check your work. Okay, and then page 9 talks about rounding to the nearest 10 and to the nearest 100. So remember, if you're rounding to the nearest 10, okay, let's put this number for example, 1,247. When we're rounding to the nearest 10, we underline the tens place and we look next door. This number right here is going to tell me whether or not that 4 stays a 4 or whether or not that 4 becomes a 5. Remember our little rhyme. 0 through 4, do no more with this number. 5 through 9, this climbs the vine. Remember, 0 through 4, do no more. 5 through 9, climb the vine. So this 7 is a 5 through 9, right? So that's telling me that this 4 needs to climb the vine and becomes a 5. The 1 doesn't change. I'm not rounding that. The 2 doesn't change. I'm not rounding that. The 4, we said climbs the vine. Okay, the 4 climbs the vine to become a 5. And all the digits after your rounding become zeros. Let me rewrite that a little bit neater. So our rounded number becomes 1,250. That 7 told me to make that 4 climb the vine. Okay. The second part of page 9 is asking you to round it to the nearest 100. Okay, so the only difference is now we underline the hundreds place, which is the 7. We look next door, and this 6, same rhyme. 0 through 4, do no more to this. If this is a 5 through 9, this climbs the vine. This is a 5 through 9, this is a 6. So this climbs the vine and becomes an 8. And all the digits after your rounding becomes zeros. So 764 is closer to 800 than it is to 700. Okay, again, Khan Academy, great resource for rounding if you need it. Moving on to page 13, they give you a triangle with a missing factor. So your job is just to fill in the missing factor for that triangle, like a fact family. Okay, page 18 is moving on to multiplication and division. We've done multiplication and division a lot this year. It's your job also to kind of decide, is it multiplication, is it division based on your keywords? If you're splitting them into equal groups, we know that that's division. If you're combining groups of things, we know that that's multiplication. And if you have any questions, please let me know. A lot of the worksheets are just basic multiplication facts, just as a review, which is great. And then finally, page 19, I wanted to talk about area and perimeter, just to remind you guys about area and perimeter. We actually just ended Unit 5 with area and perimeter, so it should be really fresh in your head. So, area, as a reminder, area is your length times your width, okay? And the perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 widths. So doubling the length, doubling the width, and adding them together. So we basically have been focusing on rectangles. They do have a challenge in one of the workbook pages that is not a rectangle, so that's a good challenge to try, but most of them we've been working on are rectangles. So if we want to find the area, let's start with the area of a rectangle. Let's say the one dimension is 8 and the other dimension is 3. Okay, for area, it's really simple. All you're doing is taking the two sides and multiplying them together. For 8 times 3, we're gonna get 24. And remember, it's always in square units for area. So the area is 8 times 3, which equals 24 square units. It's a little bit easier for me to write it like this and then turn it. So 8 times 3 equals 24 square units. For perimeter, remember, it's not just 8 plus 3. That would give me 11, and that's not true because I'm missing these two sides. We know with the rectangle, if this side is 8, then this side also has to be 8. And if this side is 3, this side also has to be 3. So you're just doubling the length. 8 plus 8 is 16. 3 plus 3 is 6, sorry, 6. And then we just simply add them together. 6 and 6 is 12. Put your 2. Carry your 1, and 1 plus 1 gives me 22. So we're doubling, and then adding them together, area and perimeter. So that is page 1 through 20 as a review. Again, if you need me in any other capacity with these worksheets, I'm available through Dojo, Google Classroom, email, Zoom. If you need me to clarify anything, I am here. So Khan Academy, one more just shout out to Khan Academy. Great resources, tools, videos if you need further assistance on any of them. Okay, I miss you all so much. I hope you're working hard and just, you know, keep on having that positive mindset. We'll be back together soon enough. I miss you guys.